Wild-caught fish versus farmed fish is one of the biggest debates in the seafood world. Which one is healthier? Which one tastes better? And what's the real environmental impact? Stick around because in this video from Health Equals Wellness, we will break it all down using science, expert opinions, chef preferences, and an in-depth look into the seafood industry. Chapter 1. Types of fish that can be farmed. Not all fish can be farmed. Some of the most common cultivated species include: Number 1. Atlantic salmon. The two largest companies are that farm Atlantic salmon Mowi ASA, a global seafood company that is one of the world's largest producers of farmed Atlantic salmon. Mowi is involved in every step of the salmon farming process, including hatcheries, processing, and sales. Cermaq, a Norwegian company that is owned by Mitsubishi, a Japanese conglomerate. Number 2. King Salmon. Ora King Salmon is one of the largest king salmon farming companies. Ora King Salmon is a New Zealand company that raises king salmon in sheltered bays. The company's farms are located in areas with strong currents to prevent pollution. Ora King Salmon is raised without GMOs, hormones, vaccines, chemicals, or antibiotics. Number 3. Tilapia. The two largest companies are Regal Springs, a vertically integrated company with facilities in Mexico, Honduras, and Indonesia, and Blue Ridge Aquaculture, the world's largest producer of tilapia using indoor recirculating aquaculture systems, raises over 4 million pounds of tilapia each year. Blue Ridge raises fish without antibiotics or hormones, and free of mercury and other industrial pollutants. Number 4. Sea bass. Avramar is considered the largest company in the world for farm-raised sea bass, primarily operating in the Mediterranean region and specializing in both sea bass and sea bream production. Number 5. Trout. Riverence Provisions, LLC and Riverence Farms, LLC, based in Idaho, USA, collectively considered the biggest trout producers in the United States, producing over 22 million pounds of trout annually. Riverence primarily raises rainbow trout and holds Aquaculture Stewardship Council, ASC, certification. Those are the top 5 popular farmed fish. However, other fish that are farmed are striped bass, barramundi, catfish, and tuna. These species are chosen for their ability to thrive in controlled environments and grow quickly. However, attempts to farm species like bluefin tuna have proven more challenging due to their complex life cycles. Chapter 2. Macronutrient composition and nutritional differences. Studies show that wild-caught fish generally have a lower fat content than their farmed counterparts. That's because wild fish are constantly moving, hunting, and adapting to their natural environment, leading to leaner muscle mass. Meanwhile, farmed fish, especially species like salmon and tilapia, have a higher fat content due to controlled diets. Here's where it gets interesting. Wild fish tend to have a higher ratio of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, while farmed fish, depending on their feed, often have higher levels of pro-inflammatory omega-6s. This balance is crucial for heart health, brain function, and reducing inflammation. Omega-3 fatty acids are considered better for reducing inflammation compared to omega-6 fatty acids, which are generally considered pro-inflammatory, meaning that a higher intake of omega-3s and a lower intake of omega-6s is generally recommended for optimal health. Chapter 3. Cholesterol and other nutritional factors. What about cholesterol? Studies indicate that farmed fish, due to their higher fat content, can have slightly more cholesterol than wild fish. However, the omega-3 content in wild fish may counteract the effects by improving overall lipid profiles. Then there are the micronutrients. Wild fish often contain higher levels of vitamin D, iodine, and selenium, nutrients that play essential roles in metabolism, immune function, and thyroid health. Farmed fish, however, may be supplemented with these vitamins in their feed, but the levels can vary depending on farming practices. Chapter 4. Environmental contaminants and pollution. Now, one of the biggest concerns is contaminants. Because wild fish swim in open waters, they are exposed to mercury, microplastics, and other industrial pollutants. The amount depends on the fish's position in the food chain. Large predatory fish like tuna and swordfish tend to accumulate more mercury. Farmed fish, on the other hand, are raised in controlled environments, but that doesn't always mean they're safer. Some farms have been criticized for using antibiotics, pesticides, and dyes to enhance fish color, especially with species like salmon. However, stricter regulations in countries like Norway and Canada have improved fish farming standards significantly. Chapter 5. Geographic and cultural influences. Number 1. Geographic factors. Local ecosystem health. In some regions, overfishing has led to severe depletion of wild fish populations, making farmed fish a more sustainable option. In other areas with abundant wild fish stocks, such as Alaska, wild-caught fish may be more environmentally friendly. Aquaculture viability. Certain areas, like Norway and Chile, have ideal coastal conditions for fish farming, while others, like parts of Africa, lack the infrastructure or water resources necessary for large-scale aquaculture. Water pollution levels. In heavily polluted areas, wild-caught fish may contain higher levels of contaminants like mercury and microplastics, making responsibly farmed fish a safer alternative. Climate change impact. Warming ocean temperatures and acidification affect wild fish populations differently depending on the region, influencing whether wild or farmed fish is the better choice. Number 2. Cultural preferences. Many cultures have strong preferences for wild-caught fish due to historical fishing traditions, such as in Japan, Iceland, and the Mediterranean. Others, like China, have a long history of aquaculture and are more accepting of farmed fish. Some cultures, particularly in the West, associate wild fish with superior taste and texture, while others, like in parts of Asia, value the consistency of farmed fish. In Japan, sushi chefs typically prefer wild fish for its texture and depth of flavor. In Scandinavian countries, farmed salmon is a staple due to its consistency and availability. Meanwhile, in the Mediterranean, wild-caught fish like branzino and sardines dominate traditional cuisine. Overall, the decision between farmed and wild-caught fish depends on the local environment, cultural attitudes, and economic conditions, making it a complex issue without a one-size-fits-all answer. Chapter 6. What do chefs prefer? When it comes to taste, what do professional chefs prefer? Many chefs prefer wild-caught fish for 3 main reasons. Reason 1. Better flavor and texture. Wild fish typically have firmer flesh and a richer taste due to their natural diet and active lifestyle. Reason 2. Higher perceived quality. Many high-end restaurants and sushi chefs prioritize wild fish, as it's associated with premium quality and authenticity. Reason 3. Sustainability concerns. Some chefs prefer responsibly sourced wild fish, particularly from well-managed fisheries, to avoid issues with fish farms that use antibiotics or unnatural feeds. There are some reasons chefs prefer farmed fish. Number 1. Consistency. Farmed fish provide uniform size, texture, and fat content, which is useful in restaurants where consistency is key. Number 2. Availability and cost. Wild fish can be seasonal and expensive, whereas farmed fish offer a reliable supply at a lower cost. Number 3. Sustainability in certain cases. With wild fish stocks declining, some chefs support eco-friendly aquaculture, especially when the farmed fish are raised in clean environments with responsible practices. In summary, high-end chefs, especially in Michelin-starred restaurants, sushi establishments, and fine dining, tend to favor wild fish for its superior quality. Everyday restaurants and chain establishments often use farmed fish due to cost, availability, and consistency. The decision ultimately depends on the species, source, and ethical considerations. Some farmed fish, like high-quality farmed salmon, are well regarded, while others, like poorly farmed tilapia, are often avoided. Chapter 7. Emerging trends in farmed and wild seafood. So what's the future of seafood? With global demand rising, sustainable aquaculture is becoming more important. Innovations like land-based fish farms, recirculating aquaculture systems, and plant-based fish feeds are helping to make farmed fish healthier and more environmentally friendly. Meanwhile, organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council are promoting sustainable fishing practices for wild-caught seafood. So, is wild-caught fish better than farmed? The answer depends on your priorities. If you're looking for leaner protein with a higher omega-3 ratio, wild fish might be your best bet. But if you want a more affordable, sustainable option with consistent quality, farmed fish has its advantages too. What's your take? Do you prefer wild-caught or farmed fish? Take a moment to drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into the world of food, health, wellness, and science from Health Equals Wellness.